Presidential son Paolo Duterte denies allegations that he is getting millions of kickbacks as one of the principals of a drug syndicate. The PNP questions the motive of a person behind a video circulating online implicating Paolo Duterte and Agriculture Undersecretary Waldo Carpio in illegal drugs trade. Rappler Chief Maria Ressa pleads not guilty to tax evasion charges. BIR reminds public to file income tax return earlier than the April 15 deadline. And a 2-year-old girl's abstract paintings fetch at least $500. Good evening. At least 8 people were wounded when a bomb went off in a restaurant along the National Highway in Trillanes, Sultan Kudarat at 3:15 this afternoon. The incident is still being investigated according to a report from the Police Regional Office 12. According to local media in the area, 16 people were wounded. 5 of them were brought to a hospital in Sultan Kudarat and some of them were children. Meanwhile, a video uploaded on social media accuses presidential son Paolo Pulong Duterte as a big-time drug operator. But according to Pulong, this is just a fabrication done by a copycat. Rosalie Cocos tells us why.
Presidential son Paolo Pulong Duterte has responded to a video that has recently gone viral linking him to an illegal drug syndicate. Pulong on his Facebook post says this is indeed a fabrication and the perpetrator of the said allegations is trying to be a copycat of Senator Antonio Trillanes IV. Pulong says someone with the initials JS is behind the accusations against him and Agriculture Undersecretary Waldo Carpio. The presidential son explained on his post, this particular JS is just angry with Waldo because Waldo stopped his rice and sugar smuggling operations. Pulong also mentions about JS being mad at him because he ignored JS when they met on an airplane. This is not the first time Pulong is linked to illegal drug trade. It can also be noted that President Rodrigo Duterte had mentioned before that he himself would finish his son off if proven involved in drug trafficking. Davao City Mayor Inday Sara says she has not seen the video and she does not care who is behind the propaganda. The presidential daughter also says if it is something against President Duterte, then they are doing it because they oppose the administration of his father. Meanwhile, Malacanang defends the presidential son against the online video that links him to the narcotics trade. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo said this is obviously a black propaganda. On a video uploaded to a social media site, a whistleblower Alias Bikoy shows a document he calls a Tara record. This is an alleged internal document stating how much funds are allocated monthly to each principal of the said illegal drug syndicate. Bikoy says he knows these transactions which transpired from 2010 to 2018 because he was a member of the said syndicate that operates in southern Luzon and Visayas. Bikoy tags Pulong as a big-time drug operator and the #1 principal receiving the largest share in the drug syndicate. The narrator in the said video says the code name Polo Delta indicated in the said Tara record pertains to Pulong Duterte, and that Waldo Carpio's bank accounts are allegedly Pulong's dummy accounts. Waldo Carpio is the brother of the husband of Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte, Manasseh Carpio. Rosalie Cocos, UNTV News and Rescue, Malacanang.
As for the Philippine National Police, they will not investigate yet on Bikoy's allegation at this time. They will wait for a formal complaint before making any move, according to the PNP Chief. Leia Ilagan tells us why.
Even Philippine National Police Chief Police General Oscar Albayalde is doubtful of the content of a video created and posted online by a certain Bikoy implicating former Davao City Vice Mayor Paolo Duterte and Department of Agriculture Undersecretary Waldo Carpio in the illegal drugs trade in the country. For the PNP Chief, this is just a propaganda this election period.
It is very unlikely na kung ikaw ay magbibigay ng tara na sinasabi na nasa isang formal report form, no? Usually from the previous years, gaya ng mga nakukuha mga blue book ng weteng or sugal dati, no, ay nasa isang maliit na notebook lang yan. No? Hindi yung formal letter na ganon. So it's very questionable po yung motive nun. And we don't want to glorify that video.
General Albayalde also confirmed that Paolo Duterte and Yusek Waldo Carpio are not included in the narco list.
Mali, ang sinasabi niya is 2015. Hindi pa po presidente ang ating Pangulo noon, no? Ang tanong is how can he have a clout na such big as that na sinasabi when in fact yung tatay mo is only a mayor then, no? Medyo I think questionable po 'yon.
The PNP chief added it is expected that many other videos will surface this election period, but it is just a waste of time for the police if they would investigate the allegations of Alias Bikoy.
Merong lalapit sa amin na maghingi ng tulong para ma-identify kung sino yung lumabas na yon at kung talagang paimbisiga sa atin din, iimbisigan natin yon. Pero as of this time, kung papatulan po natin lahat yung mga lumabas at lalabas pa ng mga video na ganyan, baka maubos po yung ating oras dyan.
General Albayalde also appeals to the public not to share any videos if the authenticity of the content is questionable. He also calls for a peaceful and clean election.
Ako'y nananawagan sa ating mga kandidato, sa kumakandidato, sa mga incumbents natin na sana magkaroon tayo isang civilized way o na isang eleksyon na civilized. Pakita natin sa taong bayan, sa international community na capable po tayo na mag-conduct ng halalan.
Leia Ilagan, UNTV, News and Rescue, Camp Crame.
The allegations of involvement of former Davao City Vice Mayor Paolo Duterte has resurfaced after a recorded video of Alias Bikoy has been posted in a social media saying that Pulong is indeed a member of a drug syndicate. Other personalities with close relations with President Duterte are also involved in the said controversies. Nel Maribuhok explains why.
Presidential son, former Davao City Vice Mayor Paolo Pulong Duterte and his brother-in-law Attorney Manasseh Carpio first appeared in a Senate hearing in September 2017 in connection with the allegation that they are members of the so-called Davao Group. The group is said to be among those meddling in the operations of the Bureau of Customs. Both Pulong and his brother-in-law are allegedly involved in illegal transactions. During the said hearing, Senator Antonio Trillanes IV challenged Pulong to show his tattoo on his back. This tattoo, he said, will prove that the presidential son is a member of Triad, an organized international crime group.
Na ang sinasabi ay itong si Vice Mayor Paolo Duterte ay member ng Triad at ito ang proof ng kanyang membership ay yung tattoo sa likod. Yan ang mag-i-explain ng lahat ng ito at merong mga competition among syndicates.
Pipicture natin tapos papadala natin sa USDA para i-decode. Kung willing ka lang naman. Are you willing, Vice Mayor Duterte?
No way.
After several hearings, Senate Blue Ribbon Committee Chairman Richard Gordon absolved the involvement of the said Davao Group in the 6.4 billion pesos worth shabu shipment from China. But recently, a recorded video has surfaced on social media. Alias Bikoy is supporting the allegations of Senator Trillanes about the presidential son's tattoo.
Kaya ayaw niyang ipakita dahil sa tattoo mismo may kasamang alphanumeric code. Ang alphanumeric code na ito ay makikita sa taas na bahagi ng dragon na tattoo sa kanyang likod. Nasa ilalim ito ng mata ng dragon. Ito ay mayroong alphanumeric code na Alpha Terra-0029 na may Chinese symbol sa baba. Ang code na ito ay siya ring ginagamit niya na codename sa Tara at sa bangko.
The issue has not ended and some personalities connected to President Rodrigo Duterte are also allegedly linked to illegal drug trade. This March, former Police Colonel Eduardo Asierto resurfaced through a video posted on social media. He said that Michael Yang, a former economic advisor of the Duterte administration, is an illegal drug trade player. According to Asierto, the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency and former Philippine National Police Chief Ronald Bato de la Rosa disregarded his intel report about the drug matrix. But it seems that President Duterte has knowledge of the said drug matrix and defended the Chinese businessman in a statement dated October 4, 2018, just before Asierto divulged the details of the drug matrix.
Tapos mayroon pa ngayon na ito daw si isang Michael Yang na drug addict daw, Michael Yang, ang ambasador ng China dyan natutulog sa bahay niya. At saka kasama yan doon sa entourage ni Premier China. He could be, sabihin mo, drug addict, drug push. Ngayon lang yan may nilabas na dose na Asierto will expose them. Go ahead, sabi ko. And you'd be surprised. Bukuhin ka ng Chinese government yan. Kasama-kasama palagi. Yung kasama-sama palagi ni Ambassador siya. Pero sabihin mo, yung Michael Yang lalabas ni Asierto. Hindi yan totoo. Tagal na yan sa Davao.
According to Senate Blue Ribbon Committee Chairman Senator Gordon, Asierto already told him about Yang's involvement in illegal drug trade in a closed-door meeting in October 2018. But Asierto did not have enough evidence for his allegations. Asierto continued to insist his claims through a video record posted on a social media site on March 25, 2019. Asierto was invited by the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee to give a testimony in the hearing and to again divulge his knowledge about the illegal drug trade in 2018, but he did not appear. Albayalde already stated that he did not receive any intel report from Asierto, but former PNP Chief De La Rosa said he received the report in 2017 and ordered him to take charge of it. Even PDEA Chief Aaron Aquino confirmed he received the report, and he said he already talked to former Special Assistant to the President Bongo about it. Senator Gordon meanwhile refuted the allegations that he did not listen to Asierto. The senator challenges Asierto just to prove his allegations.
Yan ang gimmick ng mga ibang mga tao kung di nagkakasakit. Kunyari, may sabihin malaking bagay tapos hindi naman nila mapatunayan. Patunayan nila, okay na sa akin yan. Tulungan pa natin yan. Ayaw niya eh. In-offer ko pa lang siya, sabi ko, para mawala ka dyan, para masave mo yung karir mo. Sabi ka na totoo. Warap ka. Hindi na nagpakita pagkatapos.
Days passed and last March 31, Senator Gordon asked the PNP and PDEA to arrest Asierto. But Senator Ping Lacson admitted he knows about the report but did not say when he received the intel report. According to Lacson, before the start of the probe of Blue Ribbon Committee into the illegal drug trade, Asierto already presented this drug matrix.
Dapat lang i-pursue yung investigation just to clear the air. Kung meron bang basis yung accusation ni Asierto. I'm not saying na credible yung accusation because I've seen that report even before the Senate hearing eh. And ako hindi ko masyadong na-appreciate except for the photographs shown, but yung details hindi ko masyadong na-appreciate at that time.
Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, Pasay City.
The agriculture chief does not believe the content of a viral video connecting one of his officials to illegal drugs. Ray Palayo tells us why.
A video allegedly accusing Agriculture Undersecretary Waldo Reyes Carpio of being involved in illegal drugs has recently gone viral. Carpio was appointed as Department of Agriculture Assistant Secretary in September 2017 and was promoted as Undersecretary in November of 2018. But according to Secretary Manny Piñol, Carpio is performing well as the Undersecretary for Special Concern in the department. Carpio is one of the officials who handle programs that involve other countries. Piñol said the video is pure canard, even the accusation against Paolo Duterte. The video shows that seems to be a bank statement with Carpio a dummy of what the video creator calls as final beneficiary Paolo Duterte. Pictures from a social media account named Waldo Reyes Carpio shows that the official participated in the campaign of then Davao City Mayor Rodrigo Duterte in 2016. Carpio is the brother of Attorney Mans Carpio, the husband of Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte. He is also the nephew of former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales. President Duterte is his primary sponsor in his wedding. Upon confirmation with his office, the official is now in an official trip abroad. He left the country on April 2 and is expected to be back by Saturday or Sunday. UNTV News is still waiting for Undersecretary Carpio's reply on the issue. Ray Pilayo, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Meanwhile, Rappler CEO Maria Ressa pleaded not guilty on Wednesday to tax evasion charges. Ressa maintained that the tax dodging case, as well as the other cases filed against her and online news platform Rappler, were politically motivated.
I still say that these cases are all politically motivated. I mean, where in the world do you come home on a Friday, get arrested, post bail, and on a Monday get another arrest warrant and post bail again? I've been arrested twice in a little over a month and a week or so, right? So it's clear, but we will fight every single one and hope for the integrity of the men and women who will handle these cases and that they go as well as today.
The Department of Justice, or DOJ, in October indicted Ressa and online news platform Rappler for attempting to evade taxes by not reporting gains of almost $3 million in the company's 2015 tax returns. Ressa was served an arrest warrant over a libel case live on TV in February and spent a night in detention before she was released. She was arrested again last Friday on charges she had violated of foreign ownership rules. She was later freed by the court after she posted bail. The Bureau of Internal Revenue reminds the public to file and pay their 2018 income tax return earlier than the April 15, 2019 deadline. The process of filing the tax returns is easier now than before because taxpayers just have to fill up 2 to 4 pages of BIR forms. The earlier filing, the better, because if filed beyond the deadline, 25% surcharges and 12% interest per annum will have to be paid. BIR targets to collect 2.271 trillion pesos this year.
This is a friendly reminder po para po hassle-free ang pagpa-file na ng return at they don't get entangled with the last-minute deadline glitches.
A toddler in New York creates artwork that fetches at least $500 US. Although some people call her art crap, the pint-sized Picasso keeps coming back to her canvas and colorful paints. Here's why from Abby Valdez.
She's not just another toddler in the neighborhood. Meet Lola June. This pint-sized Picasso, who just turned 2 last December 30, has already sold artwork for hundreds of dollars apiece. Family friend and artist Paytim Osmani discovered Lola June's talent in painting freely and curated Lola's artwork entitled Hope.
When I saw the first piece from Lola, I was like, oh, this is good. It reminded me of Saitomble. Lola in this time is like, she's just original. She's herself and she's like the free spirit of making art without being worried for the art world or world what it's saying.
When she wants to paint, she'll just say paint or like paint, and we'll have a drop cloth out for her, and then when she's done, she just drops the mic and she's done.
Lola's mom Lucille said she doesn't necessarily love all of Lola's painting, but added it's great to have negative feedbacks from people too.
You know, people saying like, hey, this is kind of crap, and I think it's true. Like, sometimes art can be crap. And that's the whole point.
For Lucille, Lola's artwork is not all about business, but the joy her daughter's painting bring to a home.
All the lovely people that purchased her paintings and brought it to a good home, and most of them said that this will spark joy in their life, and I thought that was incredible. that my daughter could do that for somebody, you know.
Abby Valdez, UNTV News and Rescue.
The mayor of Lobo, Batangas asked a foreign ship to leave their locality. The Chinese and Indonesian crew on board the ship were said to conduct dredging and desilting operations in Lobo River, which was not permitted by the local chief executive. Sherwin Kulabong will tell us why.
Lobo, Batangas Mayor Gaudioso Manalo has expressed upset when a foreign ship with the Chinese and Indonesian crew on board arrived on Thursday last week to dredge and desilt the Lobo River. This because they had signed a contract with other companies for the desilting operations in the river, the mayor said, and not with these foreigners. He told the ship captain to leave the area together with his crew.
Wala kayong business permit, basta na kayo mag-ooperate. Sabi ko, parang barako kanyang doon sa inyo. Hindi pwede yung ganun. Kaya definitely, hindi ko kayo papayagan. Sabi ko, umalis na kayo para mawala na yung issue. Hanggang hindi po umalis.
The ship crew was able to present an Environmental Compliance Certificate or ECC from the DNR Calabarzon, but the mayor did not allow them to operate in the river.
Kami ang huling magdidesisyon kung yan ipapayagan o hindi. So yung kanilang nakuha na ECC, first step pa lang, andyan na kaagad. Parang atat na atat eh.
The Lobo, Batangas local government also assured the ship crew has not been able to conduct any operations in their locality, which is part of a protected area as it is near Verde Island, an area with marine biodiversity.
Sapagkat kami po ay tapat ng Verde Island Passage. Yung Verde Island Passage ay center of marine biodiversity in the whole world. Ito ang pinakamagandang dive site. So pag nag-akla ka dyan, masisira. Kaya hindi ka napapayag.
The foreign ship can now be seen far from the shore. Meanwhile, Chinese dredging ships have also been monitored in the waters in Masinloc and Cabangan, Zambales. Former Bayan Muna Party List Congressman Nery Colmenar said they were able to take footage of the ships on February 16 while they were creating a documentary of the West Philippine Sea. He said the ships seemed to be mining black sand, which damaged the nearby land and will put the nearby community in danger. Sherwin Kulubong, UNTV, News and Rescue, Batangas.
President Rodrigo Duterte says China just wants to be a friend of the Philippines and it is not after our territory. He emphasizes he will not go to war with China. Rosalie Cos tells us why.
President Rodrigo Duterte reiterates China's support to his administration. Since he assumed office, the Philippines and China relations have been better, he says. This is amid the West Philippine Sea tensions, such as the presence of numerous Chinese vessels near the Pag-asa Island, as well as the alleged harassment of the Chinese Coast Guard on Filipino fishermen. During the PDP Laban campaign rally in Malabon City last night, the chief executive mentioned that China just wants to be a friend of the Philippines. The president also said that he does not want to go to war with China in relation to the territorial dispute in the West Philippine Sea.
If I go to war, pupulpugin ang Navy ko in a matter of minutes. At kung makipaggera ako sa China, in 7 minutes, yung missile nila aabot ng Maynila. Bakit ako makipag-away? Bakit ko ipaubos ang pulis ko pati sundalo ko? Buhay yan.
He also said during the election period in 2016, he did not promise about the infrastructure projects since he was not sure then if China would deal with him if he became the president.
I never mentioned itong bill because I was not sure if China would deal with me when I become president. It was only when that I went there and talked to them pati sa Russia. At ang Amerikano naman ay nagdududa.
The chief executive added that when the United States of America refused to sell arms to the Philippine National Police, it was China which provided arms and ammunition without asking for anything in return.
At pumunta ako ng China, they just wants to be friends. Binigyan ako ng armas, binigyan ako ng bala, ay hanggang ngayon wala namang hiningi, wala namang hingi teritoryo.
He also cited the many agreements with China, including the loan agreement for the Chico River Pump Irrigation Project, which is being questioned by some. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Malacanang on Tuesday assured the government will heed the Supreme Court's order to release the copies of police reports on the Duterte administration's war on drugs. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelos said the government will respect the High Court's order for the Solicitor General to submit copies of the drug war records to two petitioners who are seeking to declare the anti-narcotics drive as unconstitutional. The Supreme Court en banc on Tuesday ordered the Solicitor General to furnish copies of the records of the relentless drug war, or locally known as Oplan Tokhang, to human rights groups and relatives of those who were killed for allegedly resisting arrest during police operations. Petitioners who will be given copies are the Center for International Law, or Center Law, representing residents of 26 villages in San Andres Bukid in Manila, and the Free Legal Assistance Group. President Rodrigo Duterte says he will release documents that will show the involvement of certain police officials in the illegal drug trade. Joanano will tell us why.
President Rodrigo Duterte himself accepts the fact that his campaign against illegal drugs is not successful because it is now a worldwide problem. He said he will reveal the reason why the problem on illegal drugs in the country cannot be stopped. The chief executive said he will release in the coming days documents that will show the involvement of certain police officials in the illegal drug trade.
Ilabas ko yung dokumento bukas. Yung paano maglaro ang pulis sa droga, yung mga opisyal. At bakit hindi mahinto-hinto? At bakit naman yung mga pulis noon naka-assign sa anti-drugs hanggang ngayon sa anti-drugs pa rin? Kaya pinaglalaroan ang Pilipino.
Meanwhile, the chief executive said the Malabon City has problems with law and order. Though he admitted he has no knowledge if the local chief executive is involved in the illegal drug trade, Malabon City citizens are not protected by their mayor against the effects of illegal drugs. The chief executive made the statements when he led the campaign rally of the Partido Demokratiko Pilipino Lakas ng Bayan, or PDP Laban, in Barangay Potrero, Malabon City last night.
Alam mo ang problema ninyo dito, law and order. Pag ang mayor ayaw ninyo, ayaw niyang hintuin. I do not know kung ang mayor kasali, pero palagay ko hindi. Ganun. Pero yung protection niya sa mga tao niya, hindi man siya pwedeng magbigay araw-araw. Yan siya hinahayaan. Ang tama niyan, anak ninyo.
Joanano, UNTV News and Rescue.
The State Weather Bureau, PAGASA, has advised Metro Manila residents to take precautionary measures against heat stress and heat stroke in the coming days. PAGASA warned on Tuesday that temperatures could hit 38 degrees Celsius this April. The public is also advised to keep hydrated and optimize the use of water for personal and domestic consumption. PAGASA added that the prevailing El Nino is expected to bring hotter air temperatures in the coming months. The agency's Climate Impact Monitoring and Prediction section also warned that hotter weather will be experienced in Tuguegarao City, Cagayan this month, ranging at 39.5 degrees Celsius, a 0.4 increase than the normal maximum temperature in the city. The United Nations warns of the impacts of lack of water services at health facilities could lead to the rise of deadly superbugs. Kath Dumaraos explains why.
A quarter of the world's health facilities lack basic water services, impacting 2 billion people, the United Nations said on Wednesday. In the poorest countries, about half of facilities do not have basic water services, meaning water delivered by pipes or boreholes that protect it from feces, putting birthing mothers and newborns in particular danger, new data showed. The World Health Organization and UN Children's Fund said more than 1 million deaths a year were associated with unclean births, and 15% of all patients attending a health facility developed infections.
Hospitals not necessarily as points of care where you can heal, but points of almost infection.
UNICEF and WHO are very alarmed by this.
Worldwide, nearly 900 million people have no water at all at their local health facility or have to use unprotected wells or springs. 1 in 5 facilities also lack toilets, impacting about 1.5 billion people, the agency said. One of the development goals agreed by world leaders in 2015 was for all to have access to safe water and sanitation by 2030.
Healthcare facilities without any kind of improved toilet. Now, sick people shed a lot more pathogens in their feces. And without toilets, staff, patients, this includes mothers and babies, are at a much greater risk of disease caused and spread through human waste.
The agency said good water and sanitation services were crucial to reducing the spread of antimicrobial resistance, one of the greatest global health threats. International charity WaterAid said rising rates of superbugs had been linked to poor sanitary conditions in health facilities, which lead to the overuse and misuse of antibiotics. The data showed that West Africa had some of the lowest rates of access to water and sanitation. WaterAid said this was alarming given a lack of clean water and good hygiene had contributed to the spread of the world's worst Ebola outbreak in the region, which killed more than 11,300 people between 2013 and 2016. Kat Dumaraos, UNTV News and Rescue.
Wishers in the south of the Philippines are watching out for the visit of the state-of-the-art wish bus. Here's why from Mirasol, Abogadil.
The iconic Wish 1075 bus is now in Davao del Norte. Its first pit stop, Panabo City. Wishers in the city can't help but get overwhelmed by the visit of the popular Wish bus.
Na-excite ko. Makita na ako ang bus, murag ma-happy ko nga. Akong mga idols na nag-perform.
Ang pagkailan ako sa Wish bus kay murag himo na ako sa inspirasyon.
Happy kay ko kay since wala mo parang karon po ni kaadto ang Wish diri so nagdali-dali pud mi ato nga ginan ako si ate nga naa di ay wish mo to nagdali mi ingon nga nananggid mi kay mama kay para maka adto dayon mi diri kay bago mo po ni siya diri karon po naman nakitaan.
And in Tagum City, the roadshow offered a mini concert where Tagum City locals surely enjoyed their time.
Overwhelming kayo kay syempre once in a lifetime ra ni mahitabo ka na matagaag chance ang amo ang mga local bands diri sa Tagum.
Actually, sa tinud lang kuan lang po, opportunity po ni nga makakita mi sa Wish Bus.
Excited, sobrang excited na pupunta kayo mi agad dito. Ang galing, ang ganda na hinawakan niya yung kot ng bus.
The local artists themselves are proud to be given the chance to showcase their talents on board the FM booth on wheels.
Dagang salamat kayo no sa Wish Bus sa itagami ng opportunity o dili lang sa mua o sa tanang artist sa Panabo. Salamat kayo.
I'm so thankful kasi isa din po to sa yun nga sinasabi ko na pangarap ko. Tsaka hindi basta-basta na ikaw makakatungtong sa isang bus na syempre napakasikat na bus, maraming artista ang nakakapunta or nakakanta doon. So, I'm so overwhelming and I thank the people who gave me opportunities to show my talent to the people.
Hatag siya o kaning dako nga opportunity gud sa mga banda, especially sa mga local bands, especially sa mga parehain nga mga syudad, mga lagyo na siya sa sentro, layo na siya sa Manila. So na pag abot diri ana niya, murag makahatag yun siya og inganyo pud sa mga artist. Kasama ra po namo, mahatag og chance yun nga dako.
The rising and must-watch out for plethora band also performed in Panabo and Tagum cities.
Sobrang na-enjoy po namin sila, yung energy nila, yung init po ng pagtanggap at alam niyo po, na-spoiled na po kami dito. Very talented po yung mga artists natin dito from Panabo and Tagum. Nagulat po kami na ganun po palang kagagaling yung mga musikero po namin dito.
So stay updated for the Wish Bus Tour by visiting the social media pages of Wish 1075. Your city might be the next stop of the one and only Wish Bus. Mirasol Abogadil, UNTV News and Rescue.
Election campaigns are everywhere, but are campaign jingles and traditional campaigning still effective? Let's find out why from Monokson.
Do you still remember Pepe Pacheco? He became famous last barangay elections because of his unique campaign jingle. Pacheco's jingle also became viral on social media. By the way, Mr. Pacheco did not win in that election. However, many still use jingles in their election campaign. They say you've got nothing to lose, especially when you could ask someone else to create a jingle for you for a low price. On Facebook, there are pages which offer campaign jingle composition for just 5,000 pesos. In the local level, if you are not so famous, campaign jingles can be a great help, especially when your jingle is upbeat. But the style today is different. Instead of new compositions, political jingles are now adaptations of famous songs because the public can sing along. But some campaign jingles are still a hit, even if they are original compositions. Aside from using campaign jingles, traditional campaigning such as going house to house, shaking hands, or even eating in an eatery are used by politicians. But do Filipinos still believe this propaganda?
May mga ganun naman kandidato eh. Kagaya niyan, pag botohan mo lang naman makikita yan mga yan eh. Pagka wala nang botohan, wala na, hindi mo na makikita.
Pakita ng tao lang yun eh. Tapos pag yun nandyan na nakaupo na, wala na. Diba? Ganun lang sila. Hindi na rin. Sawa na, kasawa, wala naman nagagawa.
Laos na yun eh, yung mga ganong style. Ang naniniwala ako sa mga kandidatong siguro, yung mga natural, mga lang, mga ganong-ano. Pero yung mga kalong-kalong, nako po, lumang style na yan!
According to Professor Edmund Tayaw, a political analyst, the behavioral pattern of Filipinos has changed. During the time of EDSA People Power in 1986, personalities who fought the Marcoses won the election. There is also a time when basketball players, actors, and actresses won in the polls. Those who staged coup d'etat like Trillanes and those who fought the rebels like General Biazon also won in the elections. Even businessmen like Danding Coangco and Manny Villar were able to enter politics. But because of modern technology, people can now easily research, get news updates, and know the background of people unlike before.
Hindi porke kilala ka, hindi porke nakita nila na yun na nga, kumakain ka sa karinderya, hanggang doon lang yung magiging basehan ng mga botante. Kasama yun no, sa mga i-consider nila, pero pagka nilaliman nila ng patayan o rason kung bakit ka nila iboboto, malaki yung chances na mababago.
The question now is, are Filipinos considered now as intelligent voters? Does the election code "Vote Wisely" fit the Filipino people this coming election? Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue.
Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo today dismissed an online video which alleges that the president's son, Paolo Duterte, is involved in the illegal drug trade. The controversial video is titled Ang Totoong Narcolist or The True Narcolist and allegedly exposes the real persons behind the Philippine drug trade. The video uploaded by a certain Bikoy shows a document he calls a Tara record. This is an alleged internal document stating how much funds are allocated monthly to each principal of an illegal drug syndicate. On the video, Bikoy tags Pulong as a big-time drug operator and the #1 principal receiving the largest share in the drug syndicate, while Agriculture Undersecretary Waldo Reyes Carpio's account is Pulong's dummy account. But Secretary Salvador Panelo said the video is obviously black propaganda. Lobo Batangas Mayor Guadioso Manalo has asked a foreign ship to leave their nationality. This after finding out the foreign crew composed of Chinese and Indonesian did not have a business permit to conduct dredging and desilting operations in the Lobo River. The mayor emphasized they have signed a contract for the operations in the river, but with other companies. The ship crew was able to present an Environmental Compliance Certificate, or ECC, from the DENR Calabarzon, but the mayor did not allow them to operate in the river. The mayor said despite the certificate, the local officials have the final say on whether to permit the foreign crew to operate or not. The foreign ship can now be seen far from the shore.
Wala kayong business permit, basta na kayo mag-ooperate. Sabi ko, parang bara ko kanyang gusto niyo. Hindi pwede yung ganun. Kaya definitely, hindi ko kayo papayagan. Sabi ko, umalis na kayo para mawala na yung issue. Hanggang hindi pa umaalis.
Weeks after the release of a list of politicians tagged in the narcotics trade, or the so-called narco list, President Rodrigo Duterte vowed to make public a document detailing the involvement of some police officials in the drug menace that continues to hound the country. The president said the drug problem has worsened because of the involvement of government officials, including police officers. The chief executive admits that his war on illegal drugs has not yet succeeded, noting that illicit drugs are a worldwide issue. He said he will reveal the reason why the problem on illegal drugs in the country cannot be stopped.
Ilabas ko yung dokumento bukas. Yung paano maglaro ang pulis sa droga, yung mga opisyal. At bakit hindi mahinto-hinto? At bakit naman yung mga pulis noon naka-assign sa anti-drugs hanggang ngayon sa anti-drugs pa rin? Kaya pinaglalaroan ang Pilipino.
And for the news abroad, here's Stephanie C. live from Hong Kong. Good evening, Stephanie.
Good evening, Diego. A White House whistleblower has claimed the Trump administration overruled more than 24 security clearance denials against the advice of intelligence officials. Sonny Cause will tell us why.
Republican and Democrats in the House Oversight and Reform Committee on Tuesday accused one another of being partisan following a White House whistleblower's testimony that the Trump administration overruled security experts to give questionable security clearances to at least 25 people. Tricia Newbold, a White House security advisor, told Democrats in Congress that clearances were initially denied to dozens of administration officials because of concerns over possible foreign influences, conflicts of interest, questionable or criminal conduct, financial problems, or drug abuse. Newbold said President Donald Trump's former White House Personnel Security Director, Carl Klein, personally overruled the career officials' judgments in the cases of two senior officials.
Overturning the security clearances is a choice the commander-in-chief can make. He's the president of the United States. It's not against the law. It's not against policy. There have been no leaks of national security information. It's not like this process has led to classified emails being on an unsecure server.
This woman is an American hero for what she's doing. She is standing up for the American people, and she comes and she says this is her final hope to come to the Oversight Committee, to Mr. Cummings, to Chairman Cummings and the members. And what do we get from the other side? Well, the president can do whatever he wants. You know why? Because we've got a king in America. Forget the American Revolution. Forget the Constitution. We've got a king. The president can do whatever he wants now. We have no rule of law that applies to the president.
Newbold's allegations were laid out in a letter sent to the White House on Monday and released by Elijah Cummings, chairman of the House Representatives Oversight Committee.
And you know, I learned more about security clearances as the ranking member of the Benghazi Committee, and how my Republican colleagues, made it clear that they didn't want to see one syllable of any kind of classified information get into the hands of anybody who shouldn't have it. And here we have at least 25 people who have been recommended not to have security clearances.
The House Oversight and Reform Committee approved the subpoena to Carl Klein to answer questions about the whistleblower's claims. Cummings' memo on Newbold's statements to investigators did not identify any of the officials who have been granted security clearances against the recommendation of the security reviewers, but the panel said it is reviewing the clearances given to Trump's daughter, Ivanka Trump, and her husband, Kushner, and National Security Advisor John Bolton. Sonny Cause, UNTV News and Rescue, Los Angeles, USA.
Venezuelan legislators have stripped Juan Guaido of immunity, paving way for the opposition leader's prosecution and potential arrest. Kath Carriedo tells us why.
Venezuela's Constituent Assembly on Tuesday approved a measure allowing the High Court to criminally prosecute opposition leader Juan Guaido for proclaiming himself the crisis-hit country's ruler. Guaido, whose claim is recognized by over 50 countries, had earlier expressed fears of being abducted by government agents following a request by the Supreme Court to the Constituent Assembly to lift his parliamentary immunity. The Constituent Assembly's President Diosdado Cabello announced pro-Maduro lawmakers had unanimously authorized the Supreme Court to prosecute Guaido, leaving him also liable to be charged for breaching a January 29 government ban on leaving the country. The court had been investigating Guaido for usurping Maduro's powers by declaring himself interim president on January 23, a move which rapidly gained international support. Guaido recognizes neither the court nor the Constituent Assembly and insisted the decision was invalid.
Es el régimen que decida cómo quiere salir.
It is up to the regime to decide how they want this to turn out. They have the option today because they are kidnapping at this time. The transition is on the march. It's the regime that is placing a cost on an exit to the conflict. It is the regime that is placing a cost on advancing towards a solution to the crisis. The people of Venezuela are already determined, and nothing is going to stop them.
The move came after Venezuela's Auditor General's office announced last week that it had stripped Guaido of the right to hold public office for 15 years, a decision he rejected as invalid. Parallel to the political battle, the country has been hit by a series of devastating blackouts that have left millions without water, prompting the government to replace the country's energy minister and institute power rationing in a bid to address the outages. Maduro's government has blamed terrorists for alleged attacks that have damaged the country's main hydroelectric power plant, announced that he was appointing Igor Gaviria Leon to replace retired General Luis Mota Dominguez as energy minister. Kath Carriedo, UNTV News and Rescue, USA.
U.S. President Donald Trump said on Monday he was willing to wait until after the 2020 presidential election to get Congress to vote on a new health care plan. Meanwhile, Canada's Prime Minister has kicked 2 MPs from his party's caucus after they accused him of meddling in a criminal case involving an influential company. Ferdy Patalio is here to tell us why.
In Canada, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Tuesday sought to quell a crisis that threatens his chances of re-election, expelling from party ranks 2 former cabinet members he said had undermined the ruling Liberals. Trudeau said former Justice Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould and former Treasury Board Chief Jane Philpott would no longer be allowed to sit as Liberal legislators. They were also barred from running for the party in the federal election this October. Wilson-Raybould, who tweeted news of her ouster before Trudeau's announcement, was demoted in January and resigned the next month. Philpott quit shortly afterward, saying she had lost confidence in how Trudeau was handling the matter. In USA, US President Donald Trump has said he wants to wait until after the 2020 election to draft a new healthcare plan to replace the Affordable Care Act. The move reverses Mr. Trump's call last week to quickly scrap ex-President Obama's signature law, which surprised some Republicans in Congress. It comes as the Justice Department backed a lawsuit aiming to strike down the healthcare law as unconstitutional. It is unclear with what Republicans would replace the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, if the courts rule to abolish the law before the 2020 presidential election. Meanwhile, a woman carrying 2 Chinese passports and a device with computer malware allegedly lied to enter US President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago club. The woman, Yu Jing Shang, 32, told security she was at the Florida club to go to the pool, according to a criminal complaint filed in U.S. District Court. Trump was in Palm Beach at the time of the incident on Saturday, 30th March. Shan, who was described in the affidavit as an Asian female, is charged with making false statements to a federal officer and illegally entering a restricted area. For Di Petalio, UNTV News and Rescue.
And those are the news from the other parts of the globe. Back to you, Diego.
Thank you, Stephanie C., reporting live from Hong Kong. A 60-year-old man in Zamboanga del Sur graduates from college. He says he has no other wish but to become an inspiration to all. Mirasol Abogadil will tell us why.
Being a student had not been a piece of cake for 60-year-old Generito Yosores. This is Generito's humble abode. He is unmarried and lives far from his relatives, so he alone worked hard to be able to finish college. He works as a pedicab driver at daytime and attended school at nighttime.
Nung nag-aaral pa ako, maraming mag-insulto sa akin, mag-comment, na magtanong na bakit na nag-aaral pa ako, matanda naman ako.
Generito admits it was hard for him to catch up with other students, especially during tests.
Yung examination namin, hindi ko mabasa yung nila, yung test paper kasi masyadong malabo ba. Hindi ko na answeran lahat ng mga tanong.
Making his thesis paper is unforgettable for him.
Sa lahat na kasama ko ng mga nagkuha ng thesis, ako lang nag-memorize sa part na para isagot ko sa maestra. Kasi wala akong laptop, wala akong computer.
And to be able to win that much wished for diploma, Generito studied hard despite struggles and getting sick. Before his graduation day, Generito prepared his graduation gown. And since he did not have money to buy new shoes, he painted his old shoes black to make them look new. And when that big day came, he could not contain his joy, especially when his name was called to get on stage and claim his diploma. He is a Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education graduate from the Western Mindanao State University, Pagadian City, Zamboanga del Sur.
I'm so happy that the graduation, at last the graduation comes.
His teachers and classmates are so proud of him.
He is an epitome of that age is just a number.
It's very simple, hardworking. No? Talagang matyaga siya sa kanyang pag-aaral. No? Even to the extent of driving a tricycle to earn in the morning, then at 5 p.m. Successfully come here with all the sacrifices and prayers plus determination to succeed.
Generito thanks the Lord Almighty for being given the chance to reach one of his dreams in life. At 60, Generito cannot work as a teacher anymore, but the management of the university from where he graduated promised to help him find a job in a private school. But Generito said he no longer dreams of earning big. What he aims for now is to be able to share his knowledge and become an inspiration to all. That it is never too late to reach one's dream. Mirasol Abogadil, UNTV News and Rescue.
Night at the museum will become a reality for two guests who will win tickets to spend a night at the Louvre in Paris. Nina Armilio will tell us why.
An exclusive visit that will include a tour by an art historian and the chance to clink glasses in front of the Mona Lisa are up for grabs, courtesy of Airbnb. This will be followed by a private concert in Napoleon III's chambers before the guests retire for the night inside a mini pyramid built exclusively for the occasion. Communications manager for Airbnb in France, Celia Zaidi, said the night at the Louvre Museum was a fitting way to mark the platform's 10th anniversary.
And we thought, what could be even more amazing this year to celebrate our Paris community? And we thought, of course, we want to open the Louvre to our community and reveal its magic to everyone in the world.
The Louvre's iconic pyramid also recently celebrated its 30th anniversary. Deputy Administrator of the Louvre, Anne-Laure Beatrice, said it would be a unique and unforgettable experience to wander the halls of the former royal palace at night.
It will be up to them to tell us. And I hope that they'll be able to find the words to convey their experiences to everyone. They're going to make lots of people jealous, and they're going to make people all over the world dream about this.
The winner of the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity will be chosen through a competition launched on Tuesday, in which entrants have until April 12 to answer the question, why would you be the perfect guest for Mona Lisa? Airbnb will select the most original response and pay for the winner and a person of their choosing to travel to Paris for the coveted night at the Louvre on April 30. Those who will miss out will still have a chance to experience special treatment at the Louvre, as Airbnb is soon to unveil a program of intimate concerts and exclusive visits to be reserved on their website. Nina Armilio, UNTV, News and Rescue.
Those are the reasons behind the news this April 3, 2019. On behalf of Rina Villamor Camara, I'm Angelo Castro III. And before we close, we will recap with today's significant sound bites. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. Good evening.
It is very unlikely na kung ikaw ay magbibigay ng tara na sinasabi na it's nasa isang formal report form, no? Usually, from the previous years, gaya ng mga nakukuha mga blue book ng wedding or sugal dati, no? Ay nasa isang maliit na notebook lang yan. No? Hindi yung formal letter na gano'n. So it's very questionable po yung motive nun. And we don't want to glorify that video.
Still say that these cases are all politically motivated. I mean, where in the world do you come home on a Friday, get arrested, post bail, and on a Monday, get another arrest warrant, and post bail again?
This is a friendly reminder po para po hassle-free ang pagpa-file na ng return at they don't get entangled with the last-minute deadline glitches.
Wala kayong business permit, basta lang kayo mag-ooperate. Sabi ko, parang barakuhan yung gusto niyo. Hindi pwede yung ganun. Kaya definitely, hindi ko kayo papayagan. Sabi ko, umalis na kayo.
Ilabas ko yung dokumento bukas. Yung paano maglaro ang pulis sa droga yung mga opisyal. At bakit hindi mahinto-hinto? At bakit naman yung mga pulis noon naka-assign sa anti-drugs hanggang ngayon sa anti-drugs pa rin. Kaya pinaglalaroan ang Pilipino.
Healthcare facilities without any kind of improved toilet. Now, sick people shed a lot more pathogens in their feces. And without toilets, staff, patients, this includes mothers and babies, are at a much greater risk of disease caused and spread through human waste.